Jinkx, please open the book of spells to receive a special message.
No. No. No.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'll have what she's having.
She's impressive.
She is an old school vaudevillian comic.
She is timeless and also of the moment.
Not of this earth.
She can do it all and makes it look so easy. And I gotta hate her for it.
I'm Jinkx Monsoon, and apparently, I'm the 2025 logo legend. Who knew?
Jinkx Monsoon is a legend because she is extremely talented while also being fully herself.
I wanted to be here today because whenever trans people are successful and they're so deserving of it, I always want to be the one to give them their flowers. I wanted to be here because Jinkx is that girl.
Meeting her is like, I felt so grateful to have someone who could really see me and understand what I was trying to do in the world.
Jinkx is a legend because she broke through mainstream showbiz as herself. Hello! It's a singing waiter. I want the chicken fingers.
Hi.
How are you? You look gorgeous.
I'm really good. I'm really good. Shall we start things off with a toast?
Let's absolutely, but you don't get to say it because we are here to toast you,
yes.
Jinkx Monsoon. Cheers, all.
Cheers.
To
To
Jinkx.
Jinkx and her many accomplishments.
I see cards on a platter. Is that lunch?
This is the amuse-bouche.
Cards.
Welcome to the Coven of Jinkx Monsoon. Tonight, we gather to celebrate our 2025 logo legend. Question for the table, all right? Here we go. All right, everybody pay attention. I can say ladies and gentlemen again because thank God for our political climate.
Oh my God.
So, ladies
Yeah,
and
you're gonna
gentlemen.
thrive for the next 3 years.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite Jinkx Monsoon impersonation and why? Start with you.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Jinkx is Little Edie from her original season of Drag Race.
Oh, hi, RuPaul.
How is Big Edie doing?
She's always begging for the pate, but the label is faded. I can never tell if it's pate or if it's giblets for the cats.
But you introduced a whole new audience to that character, and you did it so beautifully and so reverently.
Like, Little Edie was amazing. Judy Garland was, to me, next level.
Hello, Ru.
Yes.
It's so wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be anywhere, really.
Yes.
You know, I've been dead for quite some time.
Did you have a favorite?
Mine was Judy Garland as well.
Good.
It's hard to think of who could compete with Judy Garland, but Jennifer Coolidge. Classic. Can you do it a little?
Well, the thing about Jennifer Coolidge is everyone thinks they've got a Jennifer Coolidge impression. And when you say, I've got a Jennifer Coolidge impression, people say, who gives a shit?
Something
you
just
know?
shifted. Something shifted. Are we okay? Are we all safe?
It's
here?
the mocktail.
It's the mocktail. Something's happening.
This is a safe space for multiple personalities. I mean impersonations.
Drag Race has been an extremely important part of my journey because I think it taught me the value of sharing your personal experiences with the world, not in the effort to try to reach out to people, but when you earnestly share your truth, that will resonate with people. And even though it's difficult to live out loud, I guess, or live publicly the way I have for the last 12 years, It's brought a lot of value in my life because, like, you know, not only did I quit drinking, but I quit drinking publicly so people could kind of watch the step-by-step process and go, hey, that looks like something I want to do, you know? And I do the same thing with sirens. I just work around it, you know?
Question for the table. What is your favorite Jinkx Drag Race moment that feels quintessentially Jinkx, and why?
When her pig ear fell off. When
Oh
her
my
pig
God,
ear
yes,
fell off.
yes.
But you know what they say, fake it until you make it.
That's right.
And
No,
I'm
you're
really
Jesus
sorry.
You're
What's
falling apart.
happening?
Stress is just really getting to me.
Your ear falling
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up. I can only hear you half as well.
You leaned in to the ridiculous, that could have sunk a lot of people. They would have been thrown, but you just like went with it. You improv'd with it. It's one of my favorite moments
I'm sorry, you're gonna
of
have to
both
speak
your
up.
seasons.
I can only hear you half as well. That's everything.
I really liked that moment too. Thank you.
I feel like I was just sitting there taking notes, watching you be that pig, because you were operating on so many levels, and this is what I find about your comedy: is it's so stupid, it's extremely intellectual. It's kind of like you make people laugh, you stick the truth in their mouths while they're open.
Ah, thanks.
Wait, their mouths are open?
And yeah, she's
but I'm
sticking
sticking the
something in
truth
it, Grandpa.
The truth.
What do you feel is your most quintessential thing you did on Drag Race?
I think the roast was me at my most quintessentially me.
Evie Oddly's dick is so big, when I was doing a line of coke off of it, I had time to stop and reflect and realized I've become my mother.
Because I felt so in my element roasting, because it's something I did to get by. Like, that was a good check for a while. But moments before we had to start rolling and filming, I had taken my partial denture out to clean it, and when I put it back in, it was misaligned, and I chomped down on it, and part of it broke off in my mouth, and then I like pulled a piece of it out, and then like threw it off to the side, and then started filming TV. And then Shay goes, "What was that?" And I was like, "My teeth just broke. It's fine. It wasn't one of the real ones." And she goes, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You need my water." And I was like,
Shane's like, I got a spare one back here.
So that to me, anything that was happening that day, it was like, of course, the day that I've been looking forward to is the day that I broke a fake tooth in my mouth. But that made me feel like, you're still you, kid. You know?
Who hasn't read a card yet?
Me.
Your nails are
Silence.
so pretty.
Thank you. This is a question for you. How has Jinkx inspired you as a singular drag artist yourself?
Oh my gosh. I'm pretty early in my career still when it comes to drag, but I am so endlessly inspired by like the greats, and like obviously you're one of them, and especially because like the synthesis of you being a drag artist, a trans woman, a singer, an actor, like you're doing the things that like speak to me and to my soul, and like the things that I want to do.
First of all, thank you. That was extremely kind and generous. And I gotta say that absolutely, if you know it's inside you, if you just know it to be true, then you'll find your way to it, you know? I very much went to school thinking, I want to become a famous actor. And then in school, I learned what's better is to be an effective actor, right? Like, rather than being popular, what if you did work that was important? You know, that's the kind of school I went to. But also, like, the people, like, I am constantly inspired by other queer people. You know, like, we continue to do things we were told wouldn't happen. Like, I always say I would have been satisfied with less because I didn't think what we're experiencing these days was even possible in my lifetime. And now that we have it, I feel so determined to fight for it, because you can't imbue a creature with sentience and then try to take it away. And you can't shine a spotlight on a drag queen and expect her to give it up.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I also feel like, I mean, we're all performers, right? Like, we're all like trying to make a name of ourselves, or have successfully. And like, I feel like being online, especially like making my platform that way, it's always about virality and it's always about like popularity. And sometimes it's nice to get back to the good stuff.
But if you get back to the good stuff, the popularity will follow.
Exactly.
Because you got to stay authentic to why you did it in the first place, and that's what people resonate with. If they can sense that you're in it for the popularity, that doesn't mean you can't make it there. It's just going to be very different, and you're going to feel differently about it.
Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Well, it's kind of like you want to do a show for yourself. Like you were talking about the authenticity, and I think we all know Cole Escola.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about when you were
Diva.
talking. But, you know, it's what Jinkx was saying is Cole went from downtown Darlin and doing all kinds of esoteric shows and then took the O'Mary to off-Broadway. And then this blew me away. Did not change it at all to go to the big stage. But it's a mainstream hit. And if Cole had tried to make it a mainstream hit, it would have failed. And it wouldn't have felt a show that Cole wanted to do. So I think that's, you know, that you're very similar to that.
I feel all the ways, and especially about that show and that person. Like, and I've been friends with Cole for like 13 years. We met in Australia when we were both hustling and touring and gigging. And I have watched these little increments throughout Cole's career where it's like the world catching up with what I believe to be true is Cole Escola is the funniest person alive right now.
You know, we also talk about this a lot, which is that, you know, you are still doing what you were doing 20 years ago on a bigger scale. More people are seeing it. You've refined your talents, but you started doing drag, and we met at a time when drag almost guaranteed you would never be rich or famous. And you did it anyway because you were passionate about it.
Gold plates.
But that still exists.
I wish that was ceramic. We'll take that out of post. We'll take that out of post.
So I actually have a message from someone who was unable to be here today.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, it's from my mom.
Hey there, it's Michelle Visage, and my Jinkx, my darling. Congratulations to you on being the 2025 Logo Legend. You are a legend because of your resilience. I've known you for many, many years, since you started on season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race. You were just a little baby from Seattle who wasn't really sure if she fit in. And to be honest, you didn't. And that's what made you stand out. You are magical. All of the times the world has tried to keep you down and tell you why you couldn't, why you wouldn't, you have just risen up and succeeded. I've not seen many people do the things that you've done. And the best part is, Jinxie, you've only just begun. I love you with all I've got. You're like a child to me. You know this. And it's always the most wonderful thing to hear your voice, to see your text, to laugh with you, to sing with you. You are so very special. Receive the love. Enjoy the moment. Congratulations, my darling. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
We were just texting yesterday. I had no idea. Our personas, our public personas, not very much like one another. Backstage, we are the same person. It is so funny how when we both take off the wigs, we're kind of just brassy Broadway theater girls at heart, even though clearly I think we have some difference in aesthetic. We toured together, and we used to always have to share a dressing room because no one else wanted to be in a dressing room with the two of us because they didn't want to have to listen to Broadway show tunes. And it was Jiggly's idea. Bless Jiggly. It was her idea for Michelle and I to start sharing a dressing room. And that's a big part of why Michelle and I are so close today.
Jinkx and I mean, we met at this point, we've been saying 15 years for like some time, so I'm actually not sure, but it's been a minute. And Jinkx was in school at Cornish, and we had a mutual friend who was one of Jinkx's instructors at school. So she had told us about each other multiple times, and neither of us really took it all that seriously. But I finally took a chance on Unknown Queen, and a friend and I went to see a show of hers with her musical partner, Major Scales, that was happening at 4 p.m. for free at a Starbucks. And out of the public restroom comes this beautiful, talented creature and began to perform a show that I still think about. It was one of the most incredible performances I had ever seen. And I immediately turned to my friend and I said, this queen is either my friend or my competition. And I marched up to her afterwards and I introduced myself and I said, I would love to work with you.
She handed me her paper business card. And I remember thinking, this drag queen is so professional. She has business cards.
All right, who's got next card?
Alok, Alok, Alok.
Question for you. Jinkx and DeLa are still collaborating today with their unapologetically and fervently queer holiday special, now in its 8th year. As Mr. Showbiz himself, with decades of unapologetically queer comedy under your belt, what was your reaction seeing the show for the first time?
Well, you know, a queer Christmas show, it's like take back the night. It's taking back the holidays. And it was like Christmas Day. It was like Thanksgiving dinner with people that I wanted to spend with, that I showed up, you know, with a Christmas outfit on, a Christmas sweater, my mustache, the whole thing. Nobody judged. And, you know, you were doing your material. And it was a hit. And it's a Christmas show that you're accepted at.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I think one of my favorite things is what you're talking about, like temporarily creating a space where a giant theater is just packed with queer people, and then you're sitting there and you're like, I'm not outnumbered for the first time in my life. You know, I'm part of the status quo here. The first time I saw a drag queen in live life, I was like, oh my God, there they are, they exist. I don't have to be something I'm not anymore because there's already something for me to be, you know?
And now you get to continue to make a lot of other people feel that.
It's called Pay It Forward, baby.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. To paying it forward.
Paying it forward.
But you have to explain.
If not you, then who will tell us what's changed?
Yes, who?
You know what I like most about my experience in Pirates, the Penzance musical, is it's everything I ever dreamt of. This is something I've thought about my entire life, being able to create a character from the ground up on a revival of a beautiful show. But what I think is so significant is she is probably the furthest away from me as far as characters I've played recently. Mama Morton and I, you can kind of see the overlap. Audrey and Little Shop, you can kind of see the overlap, right? Ruth and I were kind of further away from each other than any of my characters have been thus far. And it still works. And that's the beautiful thing about working diligently. It's about applying everything you've learned to step into someone else's shoes.
When I watched you on Broadway for the first time, I was like, this feels like a cosmic realignment. This is what it's always supposed to have been. Is finally we're getting our due for our work. I think for so much of performance history, it's been straight and cis people coming to navel gaze on our performance cultures. They would call it slumming. And they would go and take notes of what we were wearing and the language we used and our sensibilities, and then would make mainstream Hollywood and mainstream Broadway. So it's queer and trans people have always been a part of these industries, but it was our genius, our aesthetics that made it, and not our actual bodies. And so it feels so thrilling to finally be part of this vanguard of, it's not that we're new, it's that us actually being in the room is new.
You know what's a really beautiful sign of the times? And it's everything you're talking about. When I was a kid, gay icons were straight women.
Right.
And when you said gay icon, you meant a straight woman who was an icon to the gay community. Now when you say gay icons, you mean an icon who is gay. Like when I say my gay icon was Bette Midler growing up, and young queers look at me like, is Bette Midler gay? I'm like, oh, that's not what gay icon meant back then. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, it's amazing because I would have been happy with less, right? I was really happy being one of the most successful drag cabaret artists. And then I was like, but why couldn't I also be an actress on Broadway? Because they're doing drag too.
Right.
I mean, my God, costumes on Broadway, head to toe. It's like,
Well, you know who's dressing them.
Drag race.
And let's talk about that. Period. It's so nice to see, especially because, you know, I'm an actor and I'm a drag queen and a trans person who wants to be on that kind of like scale. It's so cool to like see like the revolt in it, you know? It's like we are actively going against not only the binary, but the expectations of what we go to Broadway for. And honestly, it's more exciting to see like, how can we reinterpret the stories and all the, like, we're living in the world of like, remakes and reboots and all this shit. Like, how can we make this story more interesting with 2025 in mind? You know what I mean? So it's so cool to see
from
like,
fresh perspectives,
it's-
from informed perspectives.
Yeah.
I keep saying, when we retell stories, let us tell them from fresh perspectives.
We have to.
Because think of how many women had played Mama Rose, and they've almost always looked relatively like, oh, I can see how we went from this Mama Rose to this Mama Rose. And now we have Audra McDonald playing Mama Rose in an all-black cast. And this story that has been holding up Broadway for the last 70 years is now being told in a completely new way. And that inspires me because I'm like, oh, as a trans person, I get this chance to tell the stories of these characters that were never imagined for a trans woman to play. But watch what happens when you let a trans woman play them.
I think for me, I have a little different perspective on it. Is like when I'm in mainstream spaces, I like to just this is what's progress for me. I like to just be Murray, where it's not about, you know, you're trans, you're this, you're that. Where I just want to be treated like everybody else. So for me to like play Fred and Somebody Somewhere, I was just Fred. I was just this guy. To me, that's equality and acceptance and you know.
You're speaking to something that's very important. I think the thing, going back to Gypsy, is like, it's never brought up that she's a black woman. She's just up there. There's something different about this story now, but we're just watching. She's a character, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's really important for us to get to.
Because you don't even have to change the story.
You don't have to change anything.
You literally just change the perspective, and it's a new story.
I think to that point, that is what, when I saw you play Ruth in Pirates, I saw a brilliant actress playing a role. And the importance of you being a trans woman on Broadway is inarguable. But what I see is just another powerhouse performance from an incredible actress playing a role.
Boom, shakalaka.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that's what Broadway is. And the only reason we treat drag performers differently is because they're not doing the thing they were assigned at birth. Literally, that's the only difference. When you think of David Hyde Pierce's wig, makeup, costumes, like, we're wearing the same amount of stuff. He's just presenting male, and I'm presenting female, but we're both in drag as our characters. And we all do it. Drag entertainers or trans people do it in a way that's very visible. But your hair's not naturally blonde, is it?
You caught me mid-drink. It absolutely is.
Whack her, Mother Monsoon. Whack
I dye the roots black.
Whack her.
But you know what I mean? Like, how's that different?
I agree.
I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to anyone with bleached hair. The industry of show business has long since treated drag queens as kind of like a novelty item, kind of subcategorizing us in the world of entertainment. And it's just so silly to me because what drag queens represent And why our time in the mainstream media has been so significant is we represent the choice to choose your presentation for yourself and to create your most powerful self, to protect yourself out there. And if you look at your average celebrity, they are in drag, right? They're wearing wigs and makeup and corsetry or whatever, but they're most likely in some form of head-to-toe transformation, and that's drag. So we're all doing it anyway. Why not let the drag queens enjoy some of the benefits of this art form that we've brought to the world?
From Maestro and Doctor Who to Ruth and Pirates, Jinkx is in her villain era. This is a question for the table. Which iconic villain should she play next?
I have mine.
Go.
Maleficent.
Oh, it's right there.
Like, I'm sorry, the level of cuntiness and like performance and that maniacal laugh you already have. I mean, ooh, my panties are a little wet.
Is Mother Gothel from Rapunzel? Is it Gothel? Yeah.
Tangled.
Yep. Oh. Tangled. Thank
That's
you.
Donna Murphy.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm gonna go with, I wanna see you lean into my favorite comedic villain, which I wanna see you as Yzma.
Oh!
I wanna see you channel that Eartha Kitt energy.
Yes!
And I wanna see you in that collar.
Yes!
Delete the footage of my answer. I'm gonna give a new one. Forgot about that.
All cartoons.
It's right there. No, well, yes.
I would love to see the both of you remake Bound.
Bound? I'm not familiar with Bound.
Are you
I'm
kidding?
sorry,
It's
I'm
Jennifer
sorry.
Tilly's lesbian swan love songs.
Swan?
It's her love letter to the lesbian community.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
They're killers.
They're crazy and they're killers and they finger bang. Now listen, I think that we have our plot for this year's holiday show. I think we found it.
The fans
tuned
have
back
been
in at
wanting us
finger
to
banging.
let out for years.
No spoilers.
Do you have a favorite villain idea?
I would love to see you as Ursula.
Ursula.
See, now that's what, anyway.
I
I'll
love
digress.
that these are like almost exclusively like Disney witches. Here's the thing is like, yes. You know, I think the reason why I love playing villains is I'm not afraid of going huge. And I love fucking up everyone's day in the show. And when I was Maestro, when you've got that kind of power, you get to make all the rules. And I think probably I like playing the villain because in my day-to-day life, you know, I'm a star on stage and I still gotta like walk home and I'm a fucking trans woman on the streets, right? Which does not afford me a lot of VIP treatment some of the time. So when I'm playing the villain, I'm like the one in fucking charge and everyone's scared of me for a change, I guess. That's probably why I like doing it.
No, I get that though. There's gotta be something nice where it's like, oh, I'm not the one who could be a victim right now. I could
I'm
make
not scared
someone.
of anyone because I'm at the top of the food
Yeah.
chain here.
To Jinx's villain era.
So Jinx's villain era.
Everyone.
I have one more video for you.
Hey, Jinkx, it's Neil. Listen, wherever you go, it's like the circus has come to town. And you are the main attraction. In the center ring, baby. And not just because of spectacle, but because of your raw talent. You are remarkable. You are exquisite. You're a trailblazer. You are a logo legend. Congratulations.
NPH. We worked together on Drag Me to Dinner, and now we're Doctor Who villains together. Which, in what reality did anyone expect that, right? He's like, you know, one of the kings of Broadway. And he brought Hedwig to Broadway. And Hedwig, that was my It Gets Better film. You know, that's what showed me I have a place in this world. But funny story. He came to the Laurie Beachman Theater, down to the basement, watched my early cabaret work, The Vaudevillians, and it was his job to study me. And he asked me how to tuck, and he asked me, what do I do with my eyebrows? And I said, shave them off, Neil. I dare you.
What do we got, Murray?
All right, here we go. Before we adjourn this first official meeting of the Coven of Jinkx Monsoon, there's a certain witch who would like to make her presence known. Jinkx, please open the book of spells to receive a special message.
No.
This one's very
No. No.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'll have what she's having.
My name is Kathryn Hahn. I am perhaps television's second most favorite chaotic witch. The first witch is this year's 2025 Logo Legend recipient, Jinkx Monsoon.
Oh my gosh.
Jinkx, you are a legend because, number one, your style, your hair, your lips, your face, your clothes, your confidence. We clearly share the same aesthetic, so maybe that's why. Game respects game. Number two, you're so frickin' talented. Broadway, music videos, comedy. You are musicals. You are blown my mind. And you're hilarious, which is the way to my heart. You are a legend, Jinkx. I cannot wait for our paths to cross. I think we're divine too. We share a Coven member, Joe Locke. So we're clearly in the same Coven. I'm so excited to see what you do next. Have the most amazing evening. Please try not to be too jealous of my hair. Anyway, this is just me, natural.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love pop culture witches. Like, I'm obviously, like, I practice witchcraft seriously, but I think pop culture witches, when done right, it's like, she just fucking made being a witch so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Locke, who she mentioned, they asked Kathryn and Joe, who are pop culture witches that inspired you for your character work? And Joe Locke brought me up, which I thought was extremely generous and gracious and sweet, because he's so fucking amazing.
Which witch inspires your version of a witch?
Jinkx Monsoon is who I'm.
Period.
And then she had never heard of me.
Jinkx Monsoon.
She's got a lot
You're gonna go down
yeah.
a rabbit hole.
Cabaret artist?
Drag queen.
Broadway star. How about Little Edie?
Monsoon.
Monsoon. Close. Think weather.
But then they ask her, so that's whatever. But they ask her, what about Agatha? And she said, I think Agatha's singular. I think Agatha, she's not based on anyone because she's herself. And I was like, that is what I fucking love about Agatha.
Well, it makes so much sense that would resonate with you from her, because you do a beautiful job, especially I think as Maestro. You basically embodied all of those villains we were talking about and fully made it your own. Mm-hmm. You gave us everything we love about them and you made it yours. You did exactly what you're describing Kathryn Hahn doing.
Well, I just can't believe it. Anyway.
All right. There have been a lot of fortuitous connections that we have made tonight through this conversation. Question for Mother Jinkx. Will you kindly lead the Coven in a spellbinding chant to invite these legendary spirits into the space?
Oh.
This is heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I was wondering why there was a crystal ball on the table earlier.
In a chant?
Invoke for us.
Well, this is what I say when I'm talking to my spirits. Spirits who wish to be here, enter now, so that we may share in the energy exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, come here, spirits.
Palladium. Oh God. Well, give me two of the blue ones and send me out. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. Here. Oh well, God. Oh God. Oh, surprise!
Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh, I thought it was over.
Hi, sisters. Hi, everyone.
Hi, gorgeous. We summoned the ghost of Plasma as Bernadette Peters doing a Judy Garland impression.
Twitter calls me Twinks Monsoon. So I'm Twinks Monsoon playing Jinkx Monsoon, playing Judy Garland, Bernadette Peters, or whoever the fuck else you want me to play this evening.
It's true. I was the one who tweeted it.
The culprit. But I'm Plasma. I was on another season of Drag Race, and if you haven't watched it, we're all above the pay grade at that point. It is a pleasure to be here among all of these legends, living like Bernadette or otherwise. It's almost as if our happy days
Love this song.
could be here again.
You better bring it, girl.
So long, sad times, go long, bad times. We are rid of you at last. Howdy, gay times, cloudy, gray times. You are now a thing of the past. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, shout it now. There's no one who can doubt it now. So let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Your cares and troubles are gone. There'll be no more from now on. From now on, happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy times, happy nights, happy days are here Thank you so much to Jinkx. Mwah.
Really, really thank you so much. Thank you for being here and spending so much time talking about me. I liked it more than I feel comfortable admitting. And the reason why witches get shit done is because they're a part of a coven. It's another way of saying community. It's another way of saying chosen family. Coven is just my word for how I refer to all of this. So thank you for being in my coven. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Cheers.
That's what Broadway is.